Hey everybody, welcome to Squat Pot Sports. We bring our thoughts on the latest games and sports news around the sports world, brought to you by Sideline Sports Network. Before we get into things, we're going to talk about, just for everybody's attention, go download the Score No Score app, watch all the big games, play with your friends, make some bets with your friends. It's on the Apple Store and it's also on Google Play. So go check that out. And go also check out the Inscriber Sports section by Sideline Sports Network. It's all their columns about all the sports news that's coming out, actual articles you can go out and read if you don't have time to sit here and watch something, you reading, relaxing. So definitely go check out all the content over there, Sideline Sports Network as well. Exactly. But we got a whole slate of games here to talk about and a whole bunch of them to pick going into next week. A lot of crazy stuff.
A lot of games got postponed. We got Tuesday games. We got 2 Monday games. We got a Saturday game. We're supposed to, it's been a wild week, but we're ready. Yeah. We're jumping in.
It's not even just NFL. Rona is rocking the sports world once again right now across every league at this point. But of course, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the NBA, the hot and not list, of course. And then the bias bubble and crazy sports stat fact of the podcast. But we just go right into this crazy week that was NFL football into the Thursday night game here, Vern.
That Thursday night game, it was a pretty good one, I mean, it came down to the wire there where it was overtime game. Really what we expected. We expected a good game back and forth between these two teams
absolutely.
Here.
The Chiefs and the Chargers.
Kelsey with almost 200 yards receiving. He was huge in that game, man. 2 touchdowns.
191 and 2 touchdowns. Tyreek also had 148 and a touchdown.
Yep.
It seemed like the Chiefs are clicking at the right time, but tragedy has struck within the Chiefs organization here today. And we'll talk about that here soon after we get through these games. But Patrick Mahomes, he led in rushing. He was tied with rushing with Edwards-Helaire, 32 yards. He didn't have a touchdown, though. But he threw for 410 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick. Justin Herbert, man, he's just proven he has one of the best arms in the NFL right now. He's slinging it. Over the past couple of weeks, he's had some great throws. But he ended up with 236 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Keenan Allen only had 78 yards and a touchdown. But Chiefs were able to pull it off in Chiefs fashion.
Yep. I mean, even for the Chargers they're still in playoff contention here. I could see, them making the playoffs as well. But it's just kind of like you said, the Chiefs are kind of creeping back into it. They're clicking on all cylinders right at the right time. Perfect timing for them. So we'll see what happens with them going into the postseason. But I really see them Chargers making the playoffs as well.
Yeah. And, we both picked the Chiefs in this game. We both knew... even though how good the Chargers are, we knew that they were kind of wishy-washy somewhat through the season, but they do have a good squad. Right. But the Chiefs, they're hitting their stride. I think they're on a 7-game win streak, 8-game win streak still right now. They're rolling. But we can roll right into the Saturday. There's supposed to be 2 games, supposed to be the Browns and the Raiders, and the Patriots and Colts. Unfortunately, Browns and the Raiders and the Sunday game, the Washington no-names and Eagles got pushed to Tuesday for some reason, just due to COVID. Browns, I think, had over 20 players. Washington had over 20 players out. And then, the Rams game and Seahawks ended up getting pushed to Tuesday as well. But the Saturday game, one and only, Patriots and the Colts. This was a pretty good game for the most.
At the end, whenever they were finally fucking coming back, the Patriots came out lackluster as shit, man. Just couldn't move the ball. The defense couldn't stop anything. Jonathan Taylor was falling forward for 5 or 6 yards every time, man. The Colts came out and won that game hands down, man. And I'm glad that they're back there at 8-6 and not a little bit higher up, because we would have been falling even further. But we're sitting at the 2 seed right now. Still good chance to do some damage and make the playoffs and everything, but that loss, man, I wasn't expecting. I thought we were going to be able to kind of bang. I know we got Buffalo next week. We'll see what happens, man.
Yeah, they want revenge. But the Colts were able to, get up to a lead early. They almost kind of lost it there towards the end, and then, JT had to, get on that huge run there at the end. Didn't help at all. But the Pats, they ended up fighting back. They ended up putting 17 points up on the board. And then that late touchdown by them. But it was only 17-20 at that one point,
Exactly. I think it was 10-20 at one point, and I was just like, man, it's not looking good at all here, But hey, it is what it is. 9-5 Patriots. Now we're officially 6-1 on the road. That's our first home or away loss of the season, but it is what it is. Like I said, got Buffalo next week. We're on to Buffalo.
The crazy stats of this game was Carson Wentz was 5 of 12 for 57 yards and a touchdown and a pick. He didn't even have over 100. He barely had over 50 yards.
Still beat us.
Jonathan Taylor had 170 and a touchdown. Doolin had 39. Wentz even had 17 yards rushing. Pascal led in receiving with 23 yards. So, I mean, they leaned on that run specifically. Mac Jones, 299 yards, two touchdowns, 2 picks. Stevenson for you guys had 36 yards rushing. Hunter Henry, 77 yards and 2 touchdowns for you guys. He was balling. He was beasting.
He was, but wasn't enough, man.
Wasn't enough. Heading into the Sunday slate of games, in that game, I picked the Colts. You picked the Patriots in that one. I just had a feeling about them Colts.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, next one here, Panthers and the Bills. We both picked the Bills in this one, man. You know, the Bills, they needed a get-right game. And hopefully this was it for them.
Exactly, and that's what we thought. Like, 2-game losing streak there. They had to get right. They couldn't go on a 3-game losing streak and have that third one be against the Panthers. So this is exactly what we expected. Josh Allen, Devin Singletary came out playing great. Got the job done here.
Yeah, I mean, Cam Newton, he only had 156 yards passing, 1 touchdown and a pick, and then he had 71 yards rushing as well and a touchdown.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. But yeah, Josh Allen, 210 yards, 3 touchdowns and a pick. Singletary, 86 yards and a touchdown. Davis, 85 yards and a touchdown receiving. I'm surprised they haven't been using like Knox and Moss for a while. Like for some reason, Moss just dropped off the depth chart, even though he was doing so well.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Like what changed, and now Singletary is the lead back, I guess. But they're just trying to figure out what works best for them
weird.
Heading into the postseason.
Yeah, they're trying to get right. And another team that's going to have to get right here is in this next game.
Oh, man.
What happened to these Cardinals and the Lions? We both picked the Cardinals, of course, like any normal human would. Pick the Cardinals.
But man, these Lions 2 wins, man. Like, what the hell? What the fuck happened? They were 0-10 and something. Now they're what is going on? I just don't understand. Especially the Cardinals, like you're saying. Now they're 10-4, even with Kyler Murray back. I know they don't got D-Hop still, right? But like, come on now, like, what is going on here? I just don't understand.
Yeah, D-Hop won't come back unless it's like a deep playoff run for them. So they're going to have to figure it out here in the stretch. I mean, they have the weapons to do it. They're just going to have to reorganize some stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, 30-12, man. Nobody was expecting this. Now the Lions are 2-11-1. Jared Goff was 21 of 26 for 216 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no picks. It's arguably the best game of Jared Goff's career as a Lion, in a Lions uniform.
It might have been. It probably was, honestly. Against a 10-3 coming into the game Cardinal team, so I would say that was his best game as a Lion.
Yeah. And then you got Craig Reynolds at 112 rushing yards for him. So, I mean, the Lions were just able to get it done. I mean, on the other side, Kyler Murray, 257 yards, touchdown and a pick. Edmonds, 53 yards, no touchdown. Connor, 39 yards rushing. Christian Kirk led in receiving with 94 and a touchdown. He's been like the reliable receiver whenever they need someone.
Right.
He's been low-key a really good receiver.
He was thriving when D-Hop was in there, you know what I mean? Just because, like, it was a situation where, okay, he's getting most of the coverage where he's wide open and able to do his thing.
Yeah, exactly. And, I mean, the Cardinals, they're just going to have to – I mean, I don't know what their matchup – we'll get to that here when we do our predictions.
Yeah.
But they're going to have to figure something out in this week. Going in the next game here, Jets and the Dolphins. We both picked the Dolphins in this one, of course.
Dolphins, yeah. The Dolphins are streaking. They're on a 6-game winning streak now, 7-7 all of a sudden. And I'm like, oh, shit. Like, they're only 2 games behind the Patriots, realistically. So the Dolphins are trying. They're like, hey, don't forget about us. We're not done. I know the Jets suck, but we're not done.
they're low key right now. Like, nobody's really talking about the Dolphins right now, especially with the streak that they're on. I mean, they're on the second highest streak along with the Chiefs. But yeah, I mean, the Jets though, 170 yards from Zach Wilson, no touchdowns, no picks. They didn't really have too much else, even rushing or receiving. Nobody eclipsed like 100 yards at all. Tua, he only had 196 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. And then you had Duke Johnson, 107 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns for the Finns.
Yeah, he had
a
game.
Devontae Parker, 68 yards and a touchdown as well.
Yeah.
But they were able to get it done, man. I mean, the Jets made it a close game towards the end, but they were able to get that touchdown late, to secure the dub.
Right. Exactly. And they're just moving on the next week. We got to match up with them in a couple weeks here.
Yeah, so I mean, we both picked Dolphins in that one. Next one, the Cowboys and the Giants. This one pretty much went as expected. The Giants looked absolutely terrible. They were only able to put up 6 points. And, I mean, Dallas are just rolling.
Saquon had a great run, and it was like a little screen thing, and then, he got great yards, then, like, the next play, he fumbled. And I'm just like, oh, my God. Like, God damn it, these fucking Giants, like, both these New York teams, ass. And it's just ridiculous. Yeah. Like, every week we talk about it, back-to-back. The Jets and the Giants, they're trash.
Trash. And, I mean, the Lions are even getting wins now. So, I mean...
Yeah.
I feel like even if the Lions played the Giants, Lions are going to win easily against these Giants team right now. Especially Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is shut down for the season now with his neck injury. He's not playing anymore. Yeah. I think, they're on Mike Glennon and Jake Fromm right now. Mike Glennon got hurt, so it's just Jake Fromm at this point.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Giants just look absolutely terrible. Saquon only had 50 rushing yards. On the other hand, Dak Prescott, 217 passing yards, a touchdown, no picks in this game. Pollard led with 74 rushing yards. Schultz, I don't even know who this dude is for the Cowboys, had 67 receiving yards and a touchdown.
Schultz? I don't even know who this dude is.
I never even heard this dude. You hearing about the regular top 3 receivers like Amari, Gallup, and CeeDee. I don't know who Schultz is.
Yeah, Cowboys are at 10 wins, though. 10-4. Prime position for the playoffs right there.
Yep, exactly. But we both picked the Cowboys in that one. This next one here, Titans and the Steelers.
Yeah.
The Titans had it in the hands. They had it in the hands.
This was
they could have won this game.
This was very surprising here. We both picked Tennessee, thinking Pittsburgh can't do this. Pittsburgh's been wishy-washy as hell. They can't do this. Sure enough, they squeaked this shit out somehow, just like Pittsburgh does. I don't understand it.
It was looking like Tennessee was going to win it, and then, Pittsburgh just had the old comeback. They had some heroic ball there towards the end.
Exactly.
Big Ben only finished with 148 passing yards, no touchdowns, no picks. Najee Harris, he only had 18 rushing yards. And who was it? His receiving name? Deontay Johnson. He only had 38 receiving yards. So, I mean, on a stat sheet, there really isn't much to look at as far as the Steelers.
Yeah, but they pulled it out, man. That was a knuckleball game. It was a lot of turnovers. But it was a knuckleball game right there. Yeah.
Ryan Tannehill, 153 yards, no touchdowns, and a pick. And then the backup running back, Dante Foreman, he had 108 yards.
Yeah,
and no
he did have a good game.
Yeah, he had a decent game for him, but they just weren't able to secure the dub there at the end. Next one here, I know I lost this one, the Texans and the Jaguars. I picked the Jaguars. I thought they were going to be able to get it right with old Urban getting fired, but I guess not.
I picked Houston. I did. I was like, hey, team on a 3-game loser streak. Yeah, I'm gonna pick them. Yeah, why not? Let's go with that. So like it was just like a fluke. I did pick Houston to win this game. This could have been a coin flip either way, either one of these teams, honestly.
Oh yeah.
But Houston did win the game. I know Brandon Cooks actually had a great game for them, so that's good to see as him being a former Patriot, But other than that, I mean, it was pretty much what I expected. I know Houston does have better players than Jacksonville, but Jacksonville seemed like it was at least and less of a dumpster fire than Houston, but both these teams have less than 4 wins, so there ain't really much to talk about here.
Yeah, that's true. So, I mean, we already talked about who we picked in that one. The next one here, Bengals and the Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
Bengals ended up taking it, 15-10. I think we both picked the Bengals in this one.
Yep.
There was no doubt
Joe Burrow
against
man.
these Broncos.
Burrow,
but we are have confirmation, but we were hoping that Teddy Bridgewater's all right.
Oh my!
He ended up leaving on a stretcher. He was out.
I hope,
but he's all good now, apparently.
Good,
according to Denver.
I didn't see anything about that because I was watching that shit and me and Cairo and we saw him fly through the air and land and we were like, oh, that was awesome, and then he's just laying there and we're like, oh. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what's going on here?
What happened? It didn't look that bad. And then you see in the slow-mo where his head just hits the ground, and you're like, oh my God. So, man, it was crazy. I'm glad he's all right, though.
Yeah, he's good. He only finished with 98 yards, no touchdown, no picks. Drew Lock ended up coming in with, he even had less, 88 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
But they really didn't do much against them Bengals. Joe Burrow, 157 yards. He was 15 of 22 for a touchdown, no picks. Joe Mixon, 58 yards rushing. Tyler Boyd, 96 yards and a touchdown. T. Higgins, 23 and no touchdown. But they were able to get it done. It was a low-scoring game.
Yeah.
They were able to hold them off.
This is a good game, though. It was a pretty evenly matched game, I would say. But other than the quarterback situation there, it seemed like Joe Burrow and these Bengals, they're not going away. At every opportunity, they're still right there in playoffs. So we'll see what happens with them.
If they decide to draft or pick up some help for on the O line.
Yeah,
get some Joe Burrow some time there.
Exactly.
He's going to be great. That Bengals is going to be scary here, especially in that division where everybody's kind of fighting for that top spot.
Exactly. The Steelers are quickly going to find themselves at the bottom of that barrel.
Yeah, especially in the coming years, unless they have a
quarterback here.
Yeah. Next game here, Atlanta and San Fran. I feel like I picked Atlanta in this one. I'm pretty sure, didn't I?
I think we both picked San Fran.
Both picked San Fran?
Let me double check real quick.
For some reason, I thought I picked Atlanta.
Nope, we both picked San Fran. $49.
Nice.
So we
both
got this one right.
Then.
Yep.
Yeah, San Fran put a whooping on the Falcons.
Yeah. And it says here the 49ers' 5th win in 6 games. So all of a sudden they're back at 8-6 right now. They're playing pretty good football. George Kittle is playing monster ball lately. I don't understand what's going on with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Travis Kelce, they're coming on at the perfect time. That's what good players do. So we'll see. They're going to be a dangerous team in the NFC playoffs as well if they make it.
I think so too. George Kittle had 93 yards, no touchdown. Deebo Samuel, 60, no touchdown. And Jimmy Garoppolo, he had 235, 18 of 23 for 235 and a touchdown, no pick. So he had a great game.
Right.
On the other hand, Matt Ryan, 236 yards, a touchdown, no pick. There wasn't really too much else. Gage, he had 91 yards and a touchdown receiving. Kyle Pitts had 77 yards, but not too much as far for Atlanta. They weren't able to get too much done there.
Yeah, but I mean, we kind of talked about them. They weren't really expecting much of the season anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
The 49ers are the ones that are a very talented team that are always injured and something going on, to stop them from succeeding or exceeding their potential. But the Falcons, we know what they're going to do. Who knows what happens with Matt Ryan, man? I'd be interested to see if he stays in Atlanta.
Yeah. Who knows because there was rumors about retirement, and then he just said, no, I want to keep playing. So I know he's under contract, but I don't know how long.
Right, exactly. See if they end up moving him, though, unless he's got some type of no trade.
Yeah, exactly. Next game here was Green Bay and Baltimore without Lamar Jackson, and it went down to the wire. And it came down once again to the Ravens saying, all right, we just going to go for 2 here instead of tying at this game.
This is me playing Madden. John Harbaugh is me playing Madden. I losing games because you want to just go for 2 at the end instead of just kicking a field goal.
And I said the same thing about the Chargers. Like, these analytics nerds need to chill. Take the damn points when you can get them. Take the field goals. You can get a win.
I will say,
it's killing you in the end.
The video came out where John Harbaugh is walking the sidelines asking a bunch of players, like, if we get this, do you want to go for 2 or do you think we should kick a field goal? A ton of people were like, go for 2, go for the win, go for 2.
I know,
because
you don't want to have Aaron Rodgers in overtime or I don't know, man.
You didn't want to give Aaron Rodgers 40 seconds that he would have had. True. He would have had 40 seconds or something like that, even if they would have got the 2-point conversion. So, at that point, my train of thought is just kick the field goal. Because you're giving Aaron Rodgers 40 seconds regardless of if you get this or not. So,
True.
The outcome of this game is in your defense's hands. Kick the field goal. You know what I mean? You're not winning the game necessarily it's not like a walk-off 2-point conversion. So that's where my train of thought was. But it is what it is, You got to live with the decisions.
True. If you would have got it, he would still have 40 seconds or whatever. But
exactly.
Yeah, it's a damn if you do, damn if you don't. I know that it seems like they're just going to keep going for it. Just like what did the head coach for the Chargers said, real football fans know what I'm doing or whatever. Yeah. That's what he said. I'm like, I guess, but I think a lot of people would have taken the points too at that point.
Yeah, it is what it is,
Especially they had that many opportunities, especially the Chargers. They had that many opportunities where you're like, no, we're just gonna go for it.
It was a great game though. And what's his name? Yeah. Taylor Huntley.
Yeah.
He is the first quarterback, and I think it was either Ravens history, Tyler Huntley, to have 2 rushing touchdowns and 2 passing touchdowns. That's something Lamar hasn't even done yet.
That's crazy. I didn't know that. I didn't see that stat.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he had 215 yards. He was 28 of 40 for 2 touchdowns, no picks. He also had 73 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. Mark Andrews also had 136 yards and 2 touchdowns for him.
He's beast.
Came up huge.
He had a huge game, and he dropped that 2-point conversion, but he kind of got all fucked up, and it was a bad pass. So he almost had that game winning
similar to the week before.
Right.
That 2-point conversion. It was just off of his fingers. But Aaron Rodgers, 23 of 31, 268 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Aaron Jones, 58 yards. Valdez-Scantling, 98 yards and a touchdown receiving. And Devontae had 44 and a touchdown. Packers, man, 11-3. They're sitting at the top of the NFC. Just chilling now.
Just chilling, exactly where we thought they would be. Realistically, we thought they'd be fighting for another AFC or NFC championship there. So we'll see what happens if they can actually get over the hump and make the Super Bowl this year. There's a lot of competition. But in this next game, we got one that's kind of faltering.
Man, the kryptonite to Superman, the Saints versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tom Brady, as a Buccaneer, just cannot beat these Saints.
The only game they won was in the playoffs. The only time they beat the Saints was in the playoffs. Otherwise, I think he's 0-4 against them. You know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous.
And this game ended 9-0.
9-0. You could even put up 10 points, Tom Brady. But, like, listen, how many weapons were down? Chris Godwin was out. Mike Evans was out. Leonard Fournette was out. Antonio Brown suspended because he got a fake Vax card. Like, all they had was Gronk and Ronald Jones at this point. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But Brady's won with less in New England. That's all I gotta say. It is what it is.
That is true.
I've seen it.
Taysom Hill at QB for the Saints ended up with 154 yards, no touchdown, no picks. He also led in rushing with 33 and no touchdown. Even with Kamara, he only had 18 yards rushing, no touchdowns. And then you had Marquez Callaway with 112 receiving yards for him, no touchdowns. And then Tom Brady, 214 yards, no touchdowns, and a pick. He also had a fumble, I believe.
Yep.
Ronald Jones, second, he only had 63 yards, no touchdowns. Godwin, even though he ended up getting hurt, led with 49 receiving yards and no touchdowns. But Tampa Bay, they're in trouble now. Godwin's out for the season. Who knows what's going on? I haven't seen really a status on Mike Evans at all. I know they're getting Antonio Brown back, but that's a big blow, man, especially going into the playoffs here in a couple weeks.
They said Fournette's probably going to be done for at least the regular season, too.
Fournette. Yeah, we'll talk about that. They did pick up a running back today. We'll talk about that here. But yeah, I mean, we both picked the Buccaneers.
Jake Paul, apparently.
Yeah, it's weird. But we both picked the Buccaneers like anybody would.
Goddamn, Saints got me all lost on that one.
The next one here, the rescheduled game that got moved to Monday, the Browns and the Raiders. I forget who we picked in this game.
We picked Cleveland, both of us.
We both picked Cleveland. All right. Yeah, the Raiders were able to pull this game out 16-14 against these Brownies. Baker Mayfield was not able to play, and even the backup Case Keenum was not able to play. He had COVID as well. So it was up to old Nick Mullins.
And he was 20 of 30.
Still almost won. 147 yards and a touchdown, no picks. Nick Chubb had 91 yards and a touchdown. Probably could have used him a little bit more.
Yeah. I mean, he had 23 carries.
Yeah, that's true. Derek Carr ended up with 236 yards, touchdown, and a pick. Josh Jacobs, 52 yards. But yeah, Raiders were able to pull it off. It was kind of a close game.
Yeah.
For the most part.
But they were able to hold it off.
I mean, the Raiders got a lead. The Browns were able to come back, and then it was close all the way up to the end. And then Raiders were able to get it with that field goal.
Exactly, and seal the deal there. Just kind of, take a win on the road.
Yep. And then the other Monday night game there, the Vikings and the Bears. We both picked the Vikings in this one.
Yep.
When as expected, they pretty much crushed the Bears 17-9.
Yeah, it looks like Justin Fields is starting to kind of like at least get a little bit more comfortable out there, but he still can't put points up,
Yeah, it seems like he has decent pocket awareness now, and he's making the throws he needs to, and he's figuring the reads out and reading the defense. I think once Matt Nagy gets fired, after this offseason, hopefully, and they get a competent coach in there to help him out and coach him. I think they could be nice next year.
Yeah,
unless a lot of players start leaving.
Exactly.
Allen Robinson possibly out, Khalil Mack possibly out. Who knows?
Right, but for now the Bears are not doing too hot. 4-10.
Yeah. Kirk Cousins ended up with only 87 passing yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception.
Primetime Kirk.
Dalvin Cook 89 yards, no touchdowns. Justin Jefferson 47 and a touchdown. Justin Fields had 285 yards passing, 1 touchdown, no picks. David Montgomery 60 yards and no touchdown. Colt Kmet 71 yards and no touchdowns. Colt Clement, not Colt, sorry. But that was the Monday night games. And then we go to the rare Tuesday games. And there's 2 of them here. And we were recording this right as these games ended. So I'm pretty happy as of right now. We'll talk about this first one. Eagles in Washington. You picked Washington, who they had to play a quarterback who had like 3 practice days with him because he was on the Patriots practice squad last weekend.
Ridiculous shit. I didn't know all that going into this game. Okay, I would have picked the Eagles. Otherwise.
No, because like right after we did the show, that's whenever pretty much Washington started getting knocked down.
Yeah.
With all these COVID cases, they had like 23 players or 24 on the COVID list. They ended up getting like 5 or 6 back on the defensive side, so their defensive was pretty healthy. Offense definitely wasn't healthy. They had his name Garrett Gilbert as the QB. 20th, he ended up with 20 of 31, 194 yards, no touchdown, no picks. This dude on rushing, Antonio Gibson, he only had 26, but he's a damn good running back for him. He had a touchdown. Patterson also had a touchdown for him. McLaurin had 51 yards receiving. On the Eagles side, Jalen Hurts, 20-26, 296 yards, a touchdown. And I ain't even counting this pick because it wasn't even his fault. Hit Dallas Goedert in the hands. I don't know if you saw it. Hit Dallas Goedert in the hands. It fell, and as Dallas Goedert was running, it kicked off his heel up, and it caught, and like the defender caught it.
No, I didn't see that.
It bounced off. It bounced off his hands, fell down, bounced off of Goddard's heel up into the Washington player's hands. So I was like, I ain't even counting that as a pick for Jalen Hurts. But he had a great game overall. Jalen Hurts looked like cool, calm, collected. He had a couple runs, but he was throwing some darts, man. There was one to Greg Ward that was dope. Devontae Smith, he ended up with 40 yards. He's actually getting close to passing Deshaun Jackson's rookie receiving record.
This was a huge win for you guys.
Huge win. We needed this. We're sitting at 500 now, 7-7. Next game against a super banged up Giants on 5 days rest. So hopefully
8-7. Oh shit.
Luckily, we didn't have any injuries in this game. So hopefully we can get some rest here in these next 5 days, prepare, and then beat these Giants. Be 8-7. Then we go to Washington, play Washington again, and then play Dallas, who at that point might not even be playing. They might be having their backups in at that point. Who knows what Dallas is going to be doing. But that game could mean a lot for Philly at that point if we're fighting for that playoff spot still. But the rushing, man, Miles Sanders had a career high 131 yards. He had back-to-back over 100-yard game. That's the first time that's happened in Philly since 2014 for one running back. Jordan Howard had 69 yards. It's his first game back. Jalen Hurts also had two touchdowns rushing and 38 yards. Dallas Goedert 135 yards receiving, no touchdowns. And Jalen Reagor also had 57 receiving yards. Very impressed. I wish the defense were a little better. Hopefully they don't fuck around too much with the Giants and Washington again the week after. I'm a little bit more worried about the defense than I am the offense at this point.
Yeah, they should have no problem with the Giants next week there.
Hopefully not. I'm more worried about that defense. But great win for Philly there. We needed it. I picked Philly, you picked Washington. Going into the next game was the Seahawks and the Rams. Mm-hmm. We both picked the Rams in this one. We weren't comfortable picking the Seahawks at all.
No. And they're sitting there at 5-9 now, well out of the playoffs. I know the NFC is not decided yet, but they're not making the playoffs. Matt Stafford's playing great. Cooper Kupp is still playing at MVP level right now with 136 yards and 2 touchdowns. I can't say enough about Cooper Kupp, man. He's definitely going to win at least Offensive Player of the Year. You know what I mean?
Should.
At least.
For real. He should. He's easily top 2 receiver in the league right now.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, Sony Michel, he even had 92 yards rushing,
exactly.
No touchdowns. Matt Stafford, 244 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. And then on the opposite side of Seahawks, Russell Wilson, he was 156 yards passing, no touchdown, 1 pick. And they just weren't really able to get it done anywhere else on the field. They were able to put up 10 points, but that's just about it.
That's it.
The Rams pretty much had the lead for the majority of the time. Whereas, like, the Eagles game, Washington was able to put up 10 points quick off of, like, 2 ridiculous turnovers. And then we kind of spotted them that 10 points and then, went from there.
Beat them by 10.
Yeah. Yeah, true. But yeah, that was the week 15 games there. That was the breakdown. Before we go into the week 16 picks, though, we got all this NFL news to go over here. Starting with the Seahawks, who just lost tonight. It's the first time since 2011 that the Seahawks will have a losing record on the season.
Damn, since 2011. That's the year they drafted Russ,
10
right?
years.
I think that's the year they drafted Russ.
Was it?
I think so.
Damn, 10 years in the league already.
2011 or 2012.
A couple Bucks news here. Bucks linebacker Levante David missing the rest of the regular season with a foot injury. Definitely not good.
Another
for the
Bucks
defense.
injury?
Another Bucks injury.
God damn.
Speaking of the Bucks, they just signed Le'Veon Bell today. Get some help in the running back room with him and Carl Edwards-Helaire.
Him and Antonio Brown back together, huh?
I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about that. That's crazy. Weren't they?
They were beefing or something. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but we'll see what happens.
I thought they were on the same roster last year at one point, weren't they? Where was Le'Veon at the end of last year? I thought he was on the Bucks, or was he on the Chiefs?
He might have been on the Bucks. I don't know.
Might have been on the Chiefs. He was on one of the two, I thought. But yeah, he signed with the Bucks today. So I mean, they need all the help they can get right now. Tampa, they don't want to lose some good position. I think they're 10-4 right now still.
Right.
So I mean, they don't want to lose any position. They don't want to get any more losses stacked up there.
Exactly. So that's a good pickup for them. Even though it's Le'Veon, I mean, he's still Le'Veon. We'll see what he can bring. A couple games, we can get a couple games out of him.
Yeah. We talked about the Chiefs. They now have a total of 7 players on the COVID list as of today. Biggest names, Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce.
Damn,
so they're
both of them.
Immediately out. Yeah, both out. They also have tight end Blake Bell, Rashad Fenton, the cornerback, Kyle Long, the guard, Lucas Niang, and Armani Watts.
Are they both confirmed out for Sunday?
Not yet.
Okay.
They have to have like 2 negative tests in 24 hours.
Okay.
And then they'll be able to come back.
Well, glad it was this early in the week for them.
Yeah. Apparently Doug Peterson's interested in the Jaguars head coaching job.
Oh. Looks like me and Wyatt predicted this weeks and weeks and weeks ago. We have Jags coaching, Doug Peterson head coach, Matt Nagy offensive coordinator. We wrote that down on here weeks ago. For some reason, all of these other sticky notes have dates. That one doesn't. I don't know what date we did. We would have to watch an old video.
We did it a long time ago.
But I have that sticky note still here. So that's very interesting that you even said that. We make a lot of bold predictions that seem to come true on this show.
Yeah, apparently Doug Peterson himself said that he's interested in the head coaching job. He was asked about it. Browns pass rusher Todd McKinley is feared to suffer a torn Achilles.
Damn.
And he's going to be out the rest of the season. We are talking about Giants shutting down Daniel Jones rest of the season with a neck injury. Who knows if he's going to even be coming back? Who knows if he's going to be a Giant next year? If they're smart, they would move on. But I don't know what they're going to try to do. I don't see any of the top quarterbacks that could be moving wanting to go to that team at this point.
Yeah, I agree.
MRI came back on Chris Godwin, and it's worse than imagined. He's out for the year with a torn ACL for the Bucks. We talked about that a little bit.
Damn, he's out for the playoffs too?
Yeah, he's out for the year.
Fuck.
Yeah, he's shut down.
That's
for the rest
crazy.
Of the season.
Damn.
Yeah, and he was franchise tagged too.
Oh,
so, I mean,
shit.
Yeah, so it's looking like he's going to be gone next year probably, regardless. Unless they pay him, he's not going to be on the Bucs next year.
Oh my God! Holy shit!
Yeah, he might have saw his last game as a Buccaneer.
Come to the Patriots.
Dolphins wide receiver, huh?
Come to the Patriots.
No. Come to the Eagles. Will Fuller had some setbacks with the Dolphins on his finger injury, and he's not going to be able to return this season.
On a finger injury.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I wonder what happened.
He only ended up playing 2 games for Miami. 4 passes for 26 yards.
Damn. Well, we'll see what happens. I think he could still play next year. You know.
We'll see. Oh yeah, definitely. Tom Brady been shut out for the 3rd time in his career against the Saints now. Well, not like for the 3rd time against the Saints, but 3rd time in his career, and it was against the Saints. And it's the first time since 2006 that this has happened.
Should have never left them Patriots, I guess.
Tom's never been shut out since 2006. It's nuts.
Fucking Tom Brady should have just fucking stuck around, you know.
You got Mac Jones. You all right.
Yeah, it is what it is, I guess.
Complete list of NFL head coaches since 1970 to win more than 10 games in a division title in his first 3 seasons. Matt LaFleur, and that's it for the Packers.
Oh shit, that's crazy.
That is crazy. That could have been the crazy sports stat, but I have something different planned for that one.
That's a very cool stat because I know Aaron Rodgers kind of has like wishy-washy feelings about him too. So like this dude's been showing like he knows.
He can do it. He's one of these young head coaches now that, you know, Sean McVay, dude on Shanahan, I think for the 49ers.
Kingsbury.
Kingsbury. I think Sirianni's really starting to look like his play calling tonight was fantastic. I think he's starting to come into his own. I think in the next year or so, he's going to be as one of those like top play callers, unless something crazy happens. But that's the way it seems like it's going in the league, is like all these like, you know, beautiful mind, smart, young head coaches that are going to be coming in.
Bill Belichick.
And then you got Bill Belichick. That's like he's playing the old way, roughneck, like figure out how to take away your players, and everybody else is like score points, touchdowns, 30-something points a game.
Playing chess, and these motherfuckers are playing checkers. That's what's going on right now.
It's crazy. As the NFC North champs, the Packers became the first team this season to clinch their division and a playoff berth. Speaking of LaFleur, D-Hop, who tore his MCL last week, he could be back for an NFC Championship game or a Super Bowl if the Cardinals would make it that far.
Damn, so that's it. Like, that's the only way he's coming back.
That's it. Yeah. As if he has to. Kind of like a T.O. with a broken leg type shit.
Yeah.
Back in the day in the Super Bowl.
Right.
The Vikings waived starting cornerback Bashaud Breeland after he got into a verbal altercation at practice with coaches and took off his cleats and got into a fight with multiple teammates.
Took off his cleats and started fighting people?
Yeah. He took off his cleats and got into it with multiple teammates who were trying to calm down the situation.
They're like, all right, you got to get out of here, man. We're done with you.
He's like, you want to fight? And he takes his shoes off. He's like,
what the fuck?
Let me get out my cleats first.
Why should you take your shoes off?
I'm going to break my ankle trying to fight you in these cleats.
Okay. Interesting.
Colts running back Jonathan Taylor has more rushing touchdowns this season than 18 NFL teams have total.
That's ridiculous.
And we're in week 15. So it'd be going into week 16. So that's even nuts.
He's at 17.
Even more nuts.
I think the record is like 26, 27, something like that.
That's going to be a lot of touchdowns.
Yeah, that would be a lot in the next couple. But hey, anything's possible.
Colts linebacker EJ Speed is the first player with multiple punt block return touchdowns in a single season since Hall of Famer Ed Reed in 2003.
Nice. That's good company to be in right there. Yeah,
Colts got some good players over there. The short version on the long NFL memo on updated protocols: fully vaccinated asymptomatic players and staff won't have to test weekly anymore. It's now targeted testing, meaning symptomatic individuals. Unvaccinated individuals still must undergo daily testing.
Okay.
So they're kind of being a little bit more lenient with this shit when it comes to like, all right, pretty much you only get once a month or whatever, and then unless you have symptoms, then you definitely get tested.
Then we're testing you, but otherwise, if you're vaxxed, then you're good.
Yeah. NFL is working on. Oh, they already moved that shit. We were talking about that. Lions tight end T.J. Hawkinson out for the rest of the season when undergoing surgery on his hand.
What, another hand injury? What the fuck?
Yeah, and I mean he's been a bright spot for the Lions. Is that the tight end position? He's been decent. So that's a big blow to them. Travis Kelce has his 6th straight 1,000-yard season.
6 straight, damn.
Yeah, no other tight end has more than 4,000-yard seasons in their career.
This dude does 6 straight times. He's setting a new
6
bar.
straight times. Yeah, it's crazy. Chargers are the first team since at least 2000 to fail on 4th and goal twice before halftime. So that's
interesting.
Speaking of the Chargers, Justin Herbert set a record for most career passing yards by any player in their first 2 seasons.
Okay. We like we said, we know Justin Herbert's going to be a prolific quarterback in the league here.
Chucking the ball. We talked about all the teams that had the COVID problems. At one point, the Rams had 25 players, Washington had 21, and the Browns had 20 players on the COVID list.
Out of 53.
Yeah. That's nuts.
Ridiculous.
And the NFL had over 100 players placed on the reserve in 3 days.
It ramped up real bad there. It's going to get worse over the holidays.
Exactly. We talked about Jaguars firing Urban Meyer finally after the story. I don't know if this is the reason he got fired, but there was a story that leaked with the one former kicker, Josh Lambo, talking about how he was stretching during practice and he came up and kicked him and said, "Hey, dipshit, make your fucking kicks." That's not a good way to reach your players in the NFL.
Hey,
so
dipshit,
I mean,
make your fucking kicks, man. I'm paying you $12 million. Make your fucking.
I wouldn't
kicks.
kick the kicker if I was the head coach.
Yeah, that guy probably kicks a lot harder.
The Broncos signed veteran safety Clinton Dix and wide receiver Travis Fulgham to their practice squad.
Practice squad players. They need all the help they can get to right now.
Practice squad players are pretty important as of right now.
Yeah, exactly.
In the COVID-19 past couple weeks.
Exactly.
Panthers designated QB Sam Darnold to return off of IR, and he's been practicing. But he was able to play in this past game, but they still started Cam Newton.
Okay.
So no word if he's going to be actually playing or not.
Depends on how bad the Cam situation gets.
Yeah, and I mean it looked pretty shaky here. But that's all the NFL news I have here. Let's go to our NFL Week 16 predictions and picks brought to you by Sideline Sports Network and Squad Pod Sports. So started off here, Week 16, we got our Thursday night matchup, the 49ers versus the Titans in this game. Need the 49ers to lose this one, Vern. It would definitely help in the playoff for them birds. I do think, though, the Titans are capable of winning, but I think the 49ers are going to end up taking it.
That's how I feel about this one. I think the Titans are definitely capable of this, but the 49ers are kind of finding their identity right now. And they're jockeying for playoff positioning. I know the Titans are too. They don't have too much room to slip, but I really think the 49ers come in here and win this game. It'll be a close game, but I'm going with the 49ers.
Same. I mean, they're 3.5 point favorites over the Titans right now. But yeah, I mean, like we were saying, 49ers in that one. Mm-hmm. We got 2 Saturday games once again.
Christmas games
this week. Christmas games. Browns versus the Packers at 4:30.
I'm going with the Packers,
definitely picking the Packers.
100%, yeah.
7-point favorites. 100% going with the Packers on this one.
The Browns, man.
It's at Lambeau Field too. So I mean,
and the Packers are 6-0 at home, but the Browns just can't seem to stay healthy, whether it's illness or injuries right now. So like, I'm definitely rolling with the Packers, 100%.
Exactly. I think Baker's going to come back, but even so,
who knows who the quarterback will be for them by then.
I don't see it happening. Then you got the Colts and the Cardinals here.
For the first time this year, I'm going to pick against
Arizona
the Cardinals.
are 1-point favorites.
I'm picking them Colts in this game.
I think I am too, man.
They're rolling.
I don't trust them Cardinals right now.
They're hot. They can just feed the ball to Jonathan Taylor. The Cardinals are just like kind of like, oh shit, like what the fuck's going on? Like they're sliding, you know. So and Colts are looking to really solidify their spot in the playoffs here. So I'm rolling with the Colts. Absolutely roll with the Colts.
Absolutely. I'm going with the Colts as well in that one, man. Goes into our Sunday slate here. Giants versus the Eagles. This is in Philly as well. I'm taking them birds, baby.
This is very tough.
Jake Fromm, Jalen Hurts.
Jake Fromm is a good-ass quarterback, man.
Like Glennon, possibly. Who knows what's going on with the QB situation.
I'm rolling with the Eagles. I hope Devontae Smith has a crazy game. I hope he has like 198 yards. I'm rolling with the Eagles.
I think he only needs maybe 150 or just over 150 yards to break Deshaun's rookie receiving record. So I hope he does it this season, man. That'd be great.
Hell yeah.
So if they win there, they above 5. We 8-7, above 500, surpassing everyone's expectations on the season. We already have, to be honest, at 500.
I thought they were going to be like a 3 or 4 win team. To be honest with
everybody, thought they were going to be like a 4-win team.
And boom.
So it's been a success so far. I just hope we can slide in them playoffs there.
Yeah.
Lions and the Falcons here. Even though them Lions got 2 wins now, they were able to pull off a win against the Cardinals. I think I'm picking the Falcons still.
Yeah, I can't pick the Lions, man. I don't care how many wins they get. I don't care if they're winning like they got like 7 wins. I'm picking whoever's playing the fucking Lions, man.
I can't pick
the Lions
at all.
They're fucking terrible. They always disappoint, no matter who it is, whether it's the fans or people who pick for them. Like picking the Lions is picking disappointment. So I'm going with Atlanta.
Yeah, I mean Atlanta are 6-point favorites against the Lions. So I mean definitely wrong with them. Ravens and the Bengals here. This is interesting. In the same division matchup that's tied 8-6 for both these teams. Cincy are 2.5-point favorites. This is tough, man, because I mean you got Tyler, the backup. I don't know if Lamar's going to be playing or not. They haven't said it all.
Because of the question mark of Lamar's status, I'm going to roll with Cincinnati in this game because we know Joe Burrow is going to be playing. We know Jamar Chase is going to be out there. We know that they're going to be – hopefully Joe Mixon's out there. I know he's kind of like dinged up a little bit in the last game, but I'm rolling with Cincinnati in this game here. Baltimore's a great team, but – without Lamar, it's just that difference there. So I'm
and they're so banged up as well. Even though they're staying in these games, they're so banged up,
right,
all around.
Exactly.
But I got to go with the Bengals on this one with you.
Right.
Next one here: Rams and the Vikings. I'm rolling with them Rams because I need them to win, baby.
I need them to win. Rams too, just because they're seeming like they're finally. I mean, like they've been wishy-washy, but they're finally finding their footing. Like we were saying, finding their identity. So I'm gonna roll with them. I know Minnesota's. Look at Minnesota there, 7-7 after the fucking tumultuous start that they had in the season.
If they lose and the Eagles win, the Eagles slide into that wild card spot. At that point.
But
so the Eagles only have to worry about the Vikings and the Saints, but we actually have this tiebreaker over the Saints. So like Vikings, Washington, and the Saints.
Well, I'm gonna roll with the Rams on this game, so we'll see what happens on that. But maybe your Eagles will get in the playoffs because of them Rams.
I hope so. I'm definitely picking those Rams in that one, though. Bills and the Patriots.
Oh,
interesting game here. The Bills win, they tie for first there in the division.
I know, that shit's scary. So this is a must win. This is a must win. Okay, and it's in New England. Okay, we're gonna win this game. I don't give a shit. It's gonna be 41 degrees. It's not gonna be too cold. It's gonna be, neither of these teams really bothered by the cold weather anyway. So it's gonna be a good game. Hopefully, it's not crazy windy like last time, so we could actually see some action. But
yeah,
I'm rooting for the New England Patriots. Let's go, baby. We're gonna win this game.
Yeah, I got to go with the Patriots on this one.
I'm surprised.
I think Bill Belichick's got the Bills figured out.
I'm surprised you went with my Patriots, but I'll take it.
No, I don't. I can't trust them Bills, man. And you guys played the Colts, which I was like, them Colts kind of strong. I trust the Colts more than the Bills.
Yeah, at this point.
But yeah, I'll definitely roll with those Patriots on this one. Jaguars, Jets in this next one. The Jets are actually 2.5-point favorites over the Jaguars.
I'm not picking them Jets. I know the Jets. The Jets got more wins than Jacksonville, and I'm not picking them Jets. I don't care. It's at New York. I don't care. I'm picking Jacksonville in this game. Trevor Lawrence gonna come out, get his 3rd win as a professional football player, and without Urban Meyer, get their 1st win. So this is a good team to get it against.
Oh man. Shit. I'm gonna go with the Jets. Let's make it interesting.
Oh shit, that was a mistake.
I'll go with the Jets. It probably was, but they're both garbage teams.
Yeah, exactly. It's a coin flip.
This was like last week's Texans and what was the other team? I forget now already. Texans Jaguars specifically last week. I'm not picking those Jaguars again. I can't do it. Buccaneers Panthers. What do you think of this one? A wounded Buccaneers versus the Panthers. I still giving the edge to the Buccaneers.
I'm still giving the edge to the Buccaneers as well, even though they're wounded. The Panthers are pretty wounded up too, and they got Cam Newton at quarterback right now, so that tells you a lot. Like that, I'm a roll with Tampa Bay in this game. Tom Brady's not gonna have another shutout at least back to back.
No.
If you statistically,
Panthers defense is not that good.
Exactly. So I could see him doing it with Cameron Brate or anybody that they need to at this point. I don't know when they're getting Antonio back, but they'll be okay. I think the Kansas City Chiefs Tampa Bay Bucks win this game.
I got the Buccaneers in that one. They're 11-point favorites, even with all the injuries. Chargers and the Texans. Chargers are 9.5-point favorites. I'm rolling with the Chargers anyway. Yeah, against the Texans.
100% rolling with the Chargers. Like we were saying, Justin Herbert is the future. Austin Eckler's playing a great ball, and Keenan Allen as well. So I'm rolling with them. The Texans are a hodgepodge right now of misfit toys. So roll with the Chargers.
Absolutely. The Bears and the Seahawks here are next. There's no line for this one as of right now, but I'm rolling with the Seahawks.
I'm rolling with Chicago.
Oh, okay.
I think the Seahawks are so goddamn bad that don't even matter if they got Russell Wilson right now, because he's playing like he don't give a fuck. He's playing like Aaron Rodgers in that first game of the season where he was just like, I don't give a fuck.
Oh,
well. We're gonna still be 11-3 and win a division before anybody else wins the division. So like looking back at that, it ain't so crazy now, is it? So I'm rolling with the Bears in this game. I'm sorry, Russell Wilson's not gonna be a Seattle Seahawk very much longer.
I'm rolling WrestleMania still in that one, brother.
Gotcha.
Steelers and the Chiefs in this one. Chiefs are 8.5-point favorites, and I'm definitely rolling with them in this game.
Clicking on all cylinders, they might slaughter these
Steelers. Aren't having no heroic comeback against these Chiefs, unless Tyreek and Kelsey are not in this game.
That's the only way. I think it might be a bloodbath, to be honest with you. It might be pretty bad up there.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's iffy just to bet the Chiefs just because if they could be out, I don't know what would happen.
I'm rolling with the Chiefs even if they don't have Tyreek or Kelsey right now.
Okay, yeah, I'll roll with the Chiefs then. That way, if one of us, I can't risk, our record going down. Broncos and the Raiders here, both of them in the same division, 7-7, another divisional tie game. I'm rolling with them Raiders in this one against the Broncos.
Damn it. I was hoping you were rolling with the Broncos. I'm rolling with the Raiders as well.
I think with them Broncos.
Especially if Teddy's not playing, Derek Carr and them, they're at least trying to make the wild card. So I'm rolling with Las Vegas in that game.
Definitely rolling Las Vegas. Washington and the Cowboys. Cowboys are going to mop the floor with Washington in this one, and that's going to pretty much knock them out of contention. It's going to pretty much confirm Dallas as the NFC East champs, I'm pretty sure, if they beat them.
Yeah, because they'll be 11.
But also if Philly beats Giants, that puts them another game out, pretty much 2 games out from Washington at that point. So definitely roll with the Cowboys in that one. There's no line for some reason already, but definitely going with them.
I'm going with the Cowboys as well. It's a whole different Washington team than it was a couple weeks ago, and Dallas is still just as strong. So I'm rolling with Dallas.
Yeah, and then you got the last one here on Monday: the Dolphins and the Saints. I'm rolling with the Dolphins on this one, man. Even though New Orleans are 3-point favorites.
Me too, because they are streaking right now. They're just like running through everybody, and the Saints ain't that good, to be honest.
No.
So I'm going to roll with Miami in this one. I think they get it done Monday night.
Yeah, I got them Dolphins on that one. But that's our Week 16 predictions. Brought to you by the Sideline Sports Network and Squad Pod Sports. We'll write in our NBA talk here. What's your hot and nots for the week?
Got the hot and nots, okay? So we'll start with the hots. Cleveland They're just bouncing back and forth on either one of these lists every week. You know what I mean? So 6-game winning streak right now, 8-2 over the last 10. They're doing great right now. I got Minnesota on here on a 4-game winning streak. They're 5-5 over the last 10, but they're on a 4-game winning streak, so I had to throw them on there. You got Phoenix still, just building another streak up. They're on a 3-game streak now here, 8-2 over the last 10, still winning the majority of their games. Then I have New Orleans to wrap it up. They're on a slight 2-game win streak, 5-5 over the last 10. So I wanted to give them a little bit of credit there. Usually they'll talk about New Orleans being positive too much,
Yeah, that's true.
And then on Charlotte, gave it away. On my not list, I had Charlotte as my number 1 on a 3-game losing streak. They're 3-7 over the last 10.
Not good.
I had the LA Clippers on a 3-game losing streak. They're fucking 5-5 over the last 10. Fuck you, Clippers. Okay. And then I have Dallas on a 2-game losing streak. They're 4-6 over the last 10. And I put my boys on here, the Lakers. They're on a 2-game losing streak. They're 6-4 over the last 10. Okay. And then I had an honorable mention is Detroit. Because I think they're on a 1-game winning streak, but they're 1-9 over the last 10. So Detroit's pretty fucking bad. Okay, they might have won the last game, but they're still pretty fucking bad. So I had to put them on there as well. But that's my hot and not. So you got Cleveland as the hot team and Charlotte as the not team right now.
All right, we'll go right into some other NBA news here. Adam Silver himself has said there's no plan to stop the NBA season at this point. No plan. He said there's no reason for it. The virus isn't going anywhere. What's the use of stopping it? It's not going to just eradicate in that time. Amon Shumpert out here roasting LeBron in interviews for some reason. I don't know if you saw this at all. He's out here. Amon Shumpert says LeBron James ruined basketball by joining the Miami Heat. Braun knows he ruined basketball. Me personally, I love the NBA for the loyalty that I thought was there. He basically knocked the fourth wall down. And it doesn't stop there. Amon Shumpert on why LeBron James started flopping to get free throws. He said, bro, I'm really getting hit. So I'll sell it for you because they can't see it because I'm so strong. Y'all can't see me getting fouled. So he flops. So he's sitting out here calling him a flopper and that he ruined basketball by pretty much insinuating he started super teams. But this dude, Amon Shumpert, got a ring because of LeBron and shit. And as part of those teams.
Talking so much shit on him, I don't understand what the fuck.
I don't understand it either. Where's this shade coming from?
What the hell? Fucking salty. For what?
I don't know, man. It's weird.
Whatever.
25% of NBA players this season have been in COVID protocols.
Damn.
So far.
I know LeBron already has.
It's nuts. Most of the Bulls have already, which is, I'm glad we're getting it out of the way now. Lance Stevenson, a name you haven't heard in some time, signed a 10-day contract with the Hawks.
Oh shit, he's back.
He's back. NBA informed teams plan on Christmas Day that the league is preparing contingencies in case a Christmas Day game is postponed. Pretty much they'd be moving games that weren't scheduled on Christmas Day to Christmas Day, flexing the ones that were there out. So we're getting Christmas Day games regardless at this point. This just might not be the original ones.
Right.
Yeah. And apparently there's no chance that the NBA is going to return to a bubble.
Okay. Yeah.
They said, nope. We're not stopping. We're not going back to a bubble. Forget about it. The Pistons snapped a 14-game losing streak on the same day the Lions upset the Cardinals.
So
Detroit had a great day.
Oh shit! I heard you wrong. So it was a great day. They actually won both games.
Yeah, they won. They broke a 14-game losing streak on that day. The NBA teams will now be required to sign one replacement player when they have 2 positive tests on their roster. For 3 positive tests, 2 replacement signings are required. For 4 positive results or more, 3 hardship signings are required. The Bulls have signed 2 players in the past couple days. We have some players I never heard of before on the roster as right now, but people are just kind of pulling other players out of here. Doc Rivers has said that he's been getting texts from players that he's you're too old. You can't be playing. He said, he's like, you're not fit for the league anymore. He was saying, he's like, other people are just trying to come back in this day and age where all these players are sitting out, they maybe come back on like 10-day contracts
just
or some
to get
shit.
some hoops in.
Just get some hoops in. Let me see here. Two-time Miami Heat champion Mario Chalmers is signing with the Denver Nuggets. Speaking of another one.
Another one right there.
Another one.
They convinced him. He convinced Spoelstra.
Where's Mario Chalmers been?
Or...
Apparently, an NBA executive said that the Portland Trail Blazers said that everybody on the roster is available except for Damian Lillard.
Of course. The one piece that everybody wants.
Yeah. Steph Curry made his 150th three-point field goal of the season in his 28th game. That's the fastest any player's reached 150 threes in a season in NBA history.
And it was the record-breaking season, so, I mean, that makes sense. He had a mission this year.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's just breaking records. He's like Tom Brady of the NBA right now. He's still breaking records with his 3 points and shit. Golden State said that Klay Thompson's targeting a January return to the NBA. So we're going to be seeing Klay here soon. They said it could be January 9th or January 3rd.
Okay, so that's weeks away. That's just a couple weeks.
Yeah. With injuries and COVID cases and within their organization, the Nets are bringing Kyrie Irving back, who immediately went into COVID protocols because he's unvaxxed at this point. So that puts him out at least 10 to 14 days, from what I understand. So from what they're saying is he'll be able to practice within the facility and he'll be playing away games at that point. But he'll still be getting tested daily and all that stuff. But they're going through it right now, so they want him back.
They want him back as soon as possible. That means he's not going to be playing on Christmas.
Probably. Thaddeus Young is fed up with being on the Spurs right now. He said it bothers you a lot when you're at 110% healthy and you're more than capable of helping your team and you're not playing. It definitely bothers you. It doesn't sit well. So he's unhappy. Unfortunately, the Bulls can't trade for him since they made the trade to send him there. So we can't make any deals to get him back. We'd have to get him in the offseason.
Yeah.
So, I mean, hopefully, I don't know if he stays there. Hopefully he gets out of there for the rest of the season, but he is a free agent after the season. So I'm hoping the Bulls will bring him back after the season.
He's like, man,
Thaddeus,
y'all should have never traded me.
We shouldn't have, but I mean, it was for some important pieces, but he still has a lot left in him. He played his ass off last year. Damian Lillard, this is a quote from Damian Lillard. It said, people are saying Dame is frustrated. I am frustrated with losing and not playing my best, but that doesn't mean I'm sour on my team and I'm looking elsewhere. That's never been me. So he keeps reiterating he has no intention of going anywhere else.
Right, more of the same out of Dame.
More of the same. Pelicans star Zion Williamson underwent injection in his injured right foot in order to promote healing and will be reevaluated in 4 to 6 weeks. So even longer.
I don't even want to hear about Zion until I hear about him stepping on the court because it's all bullshit. Right? You know what I mean?
It's all bullshit at this point. We've barely seen the kid.
Right.
The Cavaliers have outscored their opponents by 100 points in their last 5 games. Their best point differential in over a 5-game span and since 2008 when LeBron was there.
They're on a 6-game streak right now too. They're rolling.
Yep. Anthony Edwards for the Wolves is the 7th player in NBA history to score 2,000 points in his first 100 games at age 20 or younger.
Damn.
Including Melo, Luka, KD, Kyrie, LeBron, and Zion. Speaking of Zion.
Damn. That's a good company to be in as well.
In response to rising COVID cases, Ontario government in Canada is limiting capacities in large venues. Games for the Maple Leafs, the Senators, and the Raptors are limited to 50% capacity. So it's starting back up there in Canada. I wouldn't be surprised if it starts happening here soon in the USA.
They start stopping allowing so many fans in the stadiums.
Limited capacities, yeah. I don't see them like completely removing them.
Right.
But I could see a limited capacity. NHL, we'll get to NHL then, but they've already had a couple games with no fans already. Once again. But staying in the NBA, Utah Jazz hired Danny Ainge as CEO and alternate governor of the team.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. That's a really good move for him.
Yeah, very good move. But that's all the news that I have as far as the NBA. Do you have anything else for him?
Nope.
Okay. We can just go right into the NHL. NHL is now officially shut down They agreed to suspend all operations from the 22nd through the 25th and will reopen on 26th, no earlier than 2 p.m. No practice, no testing during those off days. Tuesday's 2 remaining games will be played pending test results. I've already mentioned they've been playing without fans already. I'd imagine they probably might continue that going forward, possibly, or at least limited capacity venues. NHL is not toying with COVID right now. They already shut down operations. I haven't seen anything on them doing a bubble at all, but I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to do it possibly for the playoffs.
Right, at least trying to just make sure they get through it with as little amount of cases as possible.
Exactly. They do not want to go through this in the playoffs. But that's all the news I have here. We can go right into the bias bubble here. Vern, what you got?
Okay, so for my Patriots, I only have really one piece of information. It's like a little tidbit here about Bill Belichick. He's coached 799 games in his illustrious career, okay? This December 26th game against Buffalo is number 800, which is believed...
they're definitely winning that game, man.
It's believed to be like nobody has ever coached in more games. You know what I mean? It's his 47 consecutive years as an NFL coach in some capacity, passing Dick LeBeau, who had 45.
That's insane.
It's ridiculous, bro. And like, this is counting everything. So his time as a special assistant with Baltimore Colts, it's 1975 all the way until now. You know, but this is his 800th game as a coach in the NFL. So I thought that was pretty fucking cool, man. His record all time, and like I said, this isn't as a head coach, this is just from 1975 until now, is 461, 274, and 1. He's got one tie.
Damn.
He's got one tie.
One tie in all these years.
It happened in 1983 when he was linebacker coach with the Giants.
Damn.
I just thought that was pretty...
He had no control over that.
Right. I thought that was pretty cool. Bill Belichick coaching his 800th game coming up here.
That is awesome.
As far as my Lakers, Frank Vogel is in health and safety protocols. Our old NBA coach. We got a coach right now. Like, we got Coach LeBron out there, I guess. That's it. You know, but like, our coach is in health and safety protocols, so that's interesting. And then Anthony Davis, MCL sprain, 4 weeks. That's the next time we're going to be reevaluating him. Left knee, 4 weeks without Anthony Davis now. So this season...
Yeah, I saw like between 4 to 6 weeks, but he's being evaluated at 4.
Exactly.
And I was like, damn,
so
that's crazy.
This season's already looking great. Okay, it's looking great. Anthony Davis out. Great. Awesome. But we did also sign Isaiah Thomas. So I'm glad we got Isaiah Thomas.
He's been hooping for you guys,
He's been hooping. He had 19 in his debut, man. I was happy as shit about it. But, like, we got Russ, LeBron, and IT out there. So the team looks a lot different than I thought it would. We still got Melo lacking around there, but, like, we can get this done, man. We got to figure out who the fuck we are and stay healthy and get a team to play more than 5 games together.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much all I really had there for as far as my teams.
Okay. Talk about them Bulls. We had 2 games postponed, but we have come back now. DeMar's back. Kobe White's back. Got a couple other players back. Apparently Zach LaVine might be coming back tomorrow against the Raptors. So we getting everybody healthy again.
Right.
And not only that, even with limited players, the 2 games that we played since coming back, we were able to beat the Lakers and we were able to beat the Rockets. So, I mean, as of right now, they're 19-10. They're second in the East, and they're 5th in the league right now. So, I mean, Bulls are doing really well, and they're playing without a lot of their role players. And even when they were missing, like, Zach LaVine, one of their stars, they're still able to, you know, they had a lot of chemistry. They were able to play pretty effective basketball, which is nice because we need that here going forward.
Yeah.
And it has a lot of high hopes, you know, going throughout the rest of the season and then into the playoffs eventually here. But second in the East, man, we're holding within those top 3 seeds. The Nets are still number 1 though by a couple games because we were delayed. They had those 2 games postponed.
Exactly. But that's still, man, that's great. I feel like the Bulls are over exceeding expectations right now by a long shot.
Exactly.
Awesome.
And that leads to what I was going to say, one of my news here. The Chicago Bulls are reportedly buyers in the trade by the trade deadline. So they're, like I was saying in the past couple weeks, we're probably going to be getting a power forward, or at least some form of forward in some trade. I don't know who we're going to give up, but as of right now, it's looking like Chicago's in win now mode.
Yeah,
like we're going to make a couple trades that we can definitely win, especially with all the players that are available. Like the Pacers have some stars available. The Trailblazers apparently have everybody up for sale. So it's like a matter of who can we give up or what can we give up to get something that could make us contenders this year. And who knows? I think other than the Warriors, it could be wide open for who can win the championship this season. So who knows, man? The other Bulls thing I have here, players that are currently averaging at least 12 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, and 1 block. Giannis, LeBron, and Lonzo.
Damn, Lonzo, okay.
Yeah, Bulls point guard has been one of the most well-rounded players in the game this season. So, I mean, I'm fine giving up that second round. I'll tamper every day of the week, get Lonzo on the team.
Yeah. Hey, man, it is what it is. It's a worthy sacrifice.
Talk about these birds here. Carson Wentz has officially reached his snap count projection, and that first round pick is the Eagles. So thank you, Colts. It was nice doing business with you. Take that first round pick from you.
It took 15 weeks, but you fucking did it. You goddamn did
Finally did it. Thanks, Carson. Thanks, Colts. Eagles are the only team in the NFL to have attempted more rushes than passes this year.
Oh, shit. Okay. That's surprising from the beginning of the year.
Miles, some of these stats are from after tonight. Miles Sanders over 100 yards for the second straight week. First Eagle with back-to-back 100-yard rushing game since 2014, which was Shady McCoy. I mentioned that earlier in the program. Jalen Hurts is now over the franchise rushing record for QBs for touchdowns. He passed what was it? Cunningham.
Damn, man, that's crazy.
Yeah, so now he has the record in Eagles franchise as the most and he's gonna rushing break touchdowns.
That record eventually too.
Yeah, I mean, through the next couple weeks, he could possibly set it even higher.
Well, I meant like in the seasons to come.
Oh yeah, possibly. Eagles now the 9th team in the NFL history to rush for 175 or more yards in 7 straight games.
Okay.
Since 1960, only the 72 Steelers, 72 Dolphins, 75 Raiders, and 85 Bears have done it.
Damn. All great teams.
So it's been a long time. Jake Elliott has become the 3rd player in franchise history to reach 500 career points. Jake Elliott has 18 field goals straight. This dude has been automatic this year. Like, I think he's only missed 1 or 2 kicks this season. Jake Elliott completely turned. He had an off year last year, and he completely turned it around. He's been amazing so far.
He did something crazy in the off season where he's just hitting them now. He just went into Zen mode, and he's just got it.
Yeah, man, and he's made a couple long ones this season already too. Eagles are the first team to rush for 175 plus. Oh, we already mentioned that. The Chicago Bears, 85 Bears. Eagles finished with 519 yards of offense tonight against Washington. They're most under Nick Sirianni, and it also tied the regular season high of Doug Peterson's era.
Damn. So tonight was a good night.
Tonight was a good night on offense for him. But that's all the news that I have here. So hopefully we can go out on a very, very short week and beat these Giants. Even though the Giants are terrible, I could definitely see us playing down to them, or like kind of a trap game, sort of.
Yeah.
But since we already lost to the Giants before, I can just see us stomping the shit out of them now. Especially in
the condition that
we took it out on Washington because they made us wait an extra 2 days to play them.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're gonna go take it out on the Giants, and we don't even have to go anywhere. It's at home too. So hopefully we can
even better
beat them and then have a full week, then play Washington again in Washington, hopefully get a dub there. But cross fingers, hopefully we can win out, solidifying we have that wild card spot. If we win out and get into the wild card in that 7th spot, we play Dallas on wild card weekend in the playoffs, which would be amazing if we play Dallas, bro. If we could beat Dallas in the playoffs, oh man, that would be the biggest middle finger to Dallas. I would love it. If not, oh well, Dallas we talk about it for the next 5 years because they didn't do anything else in that 5 years.
Exactly.
But that'll go to the crazy sports stat fact of the podcast. And this is really celebrating something today. Today, 130 years ago today, Dr. James Naismith invented basketball in YMCA in Springfield, Massachusetts. So we just want to thank old Dr. James Naismith for inventing basketball, giving us the sport of basketball today.
Thank you very much. There are millions of people that are very, very grateful.
Very grateful. So, I mean, that was kind of a historical fact for the Crazy Sports Staff podcast today. We want to celebrate, Dr. David Naismith.
A little bit of history
today.
Lesson for you.
A little bit of history lesson for you. So remember that every year, celebrate him.
December 21st, I think that's the winter solstice. So for some reason, Dr. Naismith invented basketball the same day as the winter solstice. Maybe there's some deeper connection there. We'll explore that on a later episode.
It was cold. They didn't want to go play football, so they went inside. I'm like, what can we play inside? Grab that basket. They just had a dude out there holding that fruit basket.
Hold this fruit basket for me. I'm going to shoot this ball into it. Then tell me
this could be a game.
Yeah, basketball.
That's exactly how it happened. But that's the show for this week. Make sure to like and subscribe. Check out all of our other content on the show. Make sure to go check out Sideline Sports and all of their other programs. We got a ton of content for you on there. And also make sure to go follow us on Twitter. We are trying to get to 1K by the end of the year. Not too much time left. We got 923 as of right now. We need a little bit more.
We can get it. We can get it.
We need a little help. But yeah, make sure to go follow us on Twitter, like and subscribe on YouTube, check out all the content, and we'll see everybody next week.
Go Patriots.
Go Eagles.